This video may contain spoilers. It's all but settled, but Selena Gomez looks to produce Reboot of Working Girl. There's also a trailer for Reboot, a reboot of Modern Family, and Rami has gotten a release date from Hulu. We also think you'll want to watch The Patient, starring Steve Carell, and are curious what name has been added to the cast of Tiny Beautiful Things. So why don't you stick around? First up, Selena Gomez looks to produce Reboot of Working Girl. Like so many others, Hulu has taken stock of what is already their intellectual property and realized there are still some amazing classics to be found in their own house that could use a little zhuzhing to bring it into the here and now. And they found Working Girl, the 1988 movie that starred Melanie Griffith, Harrison Ford, Sigourney Weaver, and Joan Cusack. It was one of that year's breakout hits and earned 6 Oscar nominations. And with the recent success of Top Gun: Maverick, it's only reasonable to give the people more of what they want. And who could be better to produce a project like Working Girl than Selena Gomez? According to Deadline, Gomez isn't just being considered, but is in the middle of her final negotiations to partner on the project. She'll still continue to work on her other projects like Only Murders in the Building and her HBO Max reality series Selena Plus Chef, but Gomez is more than capable of juggling a few fun projects at once. Melanie Peña is currently working on adapting the script, with the film most likely ending up on Hulu once it's all done. How faithful to the original Working Girl script they'll stay is unknown yet, but it goes without saying that the general idea of the film will remain the same. Are you looking forward to this reboot as much as we are? Following, a trailer dropped for Reboot, starring Johnny Knoxville and Keegan-Michael Key. Talking about reboots, we've got another one for you, but this one is literally called Reboot. In this one, Johnny Knoxville, Keegan-Michael Key, and Judy Greer return to their former sitcom decades later and give the successful formula of Modern Family another go. The show was produced especially for Hulu by 20th Television and will premiere on September 20th, 2022. Reboot pokes fun at the TV industry's growing inclination to reboot hit shows from the past and centers around a family from an early 2000s sitcom that is rebooted by Hulu, putting the dysfunctional family back together without them actually really wanting to. Knoxville will step into the shoes of Clay Barber, a dark and filthy stand-up comedian whose only real acting job was on that same bright and sunny sitcom. Key portrays Reed Sterling, Yale School of Drama graduate, a rather fussy actor on the fictitious multicam sitcom Step Right Up, who resents the show for ruining his potential career. And then we have Greer, who stars as Brie Larson, a small-town pageant girl from rural Virginia who left the US to marry a duke after her turn on the sitcom. We're thrilled that Modern Family is back with Reboot and can't wait for the first season to drop. Next, Rami finally gets a release date from Hulu. It's been a long time coming, but here it finally is, the 3rd season of Rami. The new season comes with 10 brand new episodes, filling up the 3rd season of the acclaimed series, allowing us to look into the story of Rami Youssef, a first-generation Egyptian-American, and his family, as they all try to navigate their spirituality in the politically divided neighborhood of New Jersey that they live in. The new season of Rami will continue to bring new perspective to the screen, as it explores what kind of challenges someone faces when they're caught between a religious community who believes life is a moral test, heavy with history, and a millennial generation that doubts there's even an afterlife, let alone God. And in Season 3, Rami and his family are forced to confront having lived a life dedicated to worldly concerns, and in some cases, lies. Rami pretty much abandons his entire spiritual journey, instead decides he's better off dedicating himself to his uncles and his diamond business, which, as you can imagine, is going to cause some serious friction on various levels. The new season of Rami is set to premiere on September 30th, 2022 on Hulu, and promises the viewer some more insights into others, and maybe even themselves. Make sure to give the new season a go once it's been dropped. Hold up, we've got so much more to come. Someone has joined the cast of Only Murders in the Building. Don't you want to know who it is? Also, The Patient may Steve Carell, and Serial Killers, this one may not be anything like you'd expect it to be. And finally, who is joining the cast of Tiny Beautiful Things? Make sure to watch until the end of the video to find out. Next up, Paul Rudd has joined the cast of Only Murders Murders in the Building. Imagine a world where Paul Rudd didn't make his big screen debut in the 1995 high school comedy and absolute classic Clueless. Or don't, because that's a really depressing image. The presence of Rudd has made many a TV show, Judd Apatow adjacent movie, and even the Marvel Cinematic Universe even better. So to hear that he has officially been added to the cast of Only Murders in the Building as Broadway star Ben Glenroy definitely makes our day. It's unclear still whether Rudd will actually add to the main cast. Given that his character Ben Glenroy mysteriously died at the end of season 2 of Only Murders in the Building, we think it's safe to assume that Rudd might only have a supporting or a guest or in the Hulu comedy show. But any amount of Paul Rudd will do, really. At first it looked like it might have been the same cheeky kind of cameo as the show did with Amy Schumer, having her show up as herself in the season 2 premiere. But now it sounds like Rudd's appearance was all a big setup for the big mystery of season 3. Sadly, when we'll get to see that mystery is still a mystery in itself, but looking at the release of the first 2 seasons of Only Murders in the Building, we think we can reasonably expect season 3 to be released around the same time in 2023, bringing us to June or August. Doable, right? Following, why you should give The Patient a chance once it's released at the end of August. With The Americans, Joel Fields and Joe Weisberg made an iconic spy drama with an undercurrent of 80s nostalgia, and managed to portray one of the most complicated marriages in television. It's what makes the show a great watch even to this day, and should tell you something about the powers of this team. The Patient, starring Steve Carell in what is quite possibly his finest dramatic performance to date, isn't going to be what you expect it to be in any way. If you're looking for a goofy Carell, or think they'll go all out with the serial killer stuff, you might be better off not tuning in. This is In Treatment meets Hannibal meets Black Snake Moan. The Patient follows Alan Strauss, portrayed by Carell, a renowned therapist and author, who finds himself chained to the floor in an anonymous basement. If anything, it's a marvel to see what series directors Chris Long, Kevin Bray, and Gwyneth Horder-Payton can do with such a claustrophobic space. But equally fascinating in the performance of Domhnall Gleeson in the shoes of a former patient of Alan's, who happens to have abducted him for his very own special reasons. But what will surprise the most is that this is a story with a high level of Jewish specificity, treated with an impressive, mindful approach that leaves you thinking about the deeper meaning of everything long after you've finished its run. Premiering on September 30th, 2022, are you tuning in on Hulu? And now, a new cast member added to Tiny Beautiful Things. Merritt Wever has joined the cast of Tiny Beautiful Things, the upcoming series based on the New York Times bestseller of the same name by Cheryl Strayed. Tiny Beautiful Things is a series with a runtime of only half an hour, following the story of a woman who reluctantly becomes Dear Sugar, a revered anonymous advice columnist when her life falls apart. It's told with astonishing intimacy, candor, and nerve, lying bare the beauty, struggle, and humor of her own life as she shows us that we are not beyond rescue, and the stories we carry are ultimately the thing that will save us. And Weaver has been cast to portray Frankie, a resourceful and resilient single mother of young Claire and young Lucas, who will be portrayed by Sarah Pidgeon and Owen Painter. Frankie believes in abundance over scarcity and putting yourself in the way of beauty, and transforms her children's life of poverty, becoming a true touchstone for Claire, portrayed by Kathryn Hahn, as she takes up the mantle of Sugar. Who else is excited for this one? And that's all we have for now. Do you think Selena Gomez is a good fit to produce the reboot of Working Girl? Let us know in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching.